Well, I am here this evening in celebration of Nigerian independence, and I have the pleasure of interviewing this very talented and very intellectual young gentleman. Tell us your name and how old you are.
My name is Okeyzua. I'm 10 years old, and I go to Moravian Academy.
Yes. And what grade are you in?
I'm in 7th grade.
You're in seventh grade. Now, of course, you are very skilled with the violin, and we're looking forward to hearing you during the celebration this evening. How long have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing for 8 years. Actually, my violin teacher said when I first started in 1st or 2nd grade, she even said that I started way too late and that I might not
Really?
be able to play. But
Amazing.
by the grace of God, I'm here now. So.
Yes, and you've played at some of the most prestigious locations throughout the Lehigh Valley and abroad. I understand that you've played at Carnegie Hall.
Yes.
And if you could say one place that you treasure having played the most, where would it be?
I actually think it was Carnegie Hall, as you mentioned. I also played in the Allentown Symphony Hall Orchestra, which was very fun. I was in one of the higher chairs. We got to play a lot of cool songs, and we even saw another person who's really good at violin, about my age, who created her own song that we played as like our big debut in the orchestra. But yeah, Carnegie Hall was my favorite, and it had the most people there too.
Yeah.
So I really liked that.
You know, we were talking a little bit about influence of culture and some of your thoughts about Nigeria. What does Nigerian independence mean to you, and why are you a part of this celebration tonight?
Well, first off, Nigerian independence, the name being, is the day Nigeria got its independence. And it's something very important to, I believe, all Nigerians, even African American Nigerians, like, they all understand that it was a very important day, and that's why this banquet is being celebrated today. And I look forward to playing violin there. And I think overall, it's a great way to celebrate Nigerian culture, even for non-Nigerians and things like that. So, yeah.
This seems to be an open door for people who may not be very familiar with Nigerian culture. What are some of the things about Nigerian culture or about Nigeria that you wish people knew most about?
Well, there are a lot of buzzwords for Nigeria, like blood diamonds, Nelson Mandela, rough and rich terrain, like safari, elephants, many exotic animals that go there. I think that one of the best part of Nigerian food is probably meat pie, because I love the meat pies. They're stuffed with just full of goodness and good flavors, and everybody has to taste one, at least one, even if you don't like it.
Yeah.
And also Nigerian dancing is very cool, even though I'm okay at dancing. I don't really do it a lot, but my sister does a lot. And Nigerian dancing is one thing that everybody will experience and love and even laugh at too. So, yeah.
We were talking about, and you mentioned something very profound and about the perception of Nigeria. What do you think is some of the ways that the influencers, as you called them, can begin to create an understanding about Nigeria? Do you think that's important for us here in the U.S.? And how is that? How do you see yourself as an artist contributing to that?
Well, naturally, I believe people think of Nigeria as, or Africa even in general, as big, rough and rich terrain, a third world where there's not many entrepreneurs, but just people who just come in, they're like selling things, they become merchants, and either you're really bad, or you're really good, or you're like quite low. So I think it's more when extremes meet. But I think that people could come together, the influencers could come together, they could show the world what they can do, and I think all those conceptions and like ideas of Nigeria would all go away if people were more like Steve Jobs. He got kicked out of high school. They don't need to get kicked out of high school, of course.
Of course.
But he was very smart, he was very intellectual, and at the end, we're here at iPhone X. Even while Steve Jobs is dead, people are still carrying on his will, and they're doing it quite well. So I think the influencers need to be very much like him. That'll work out real well.
Yes. And what is your hope as those influencers come together? You're young, you have years to see that ahead of you. What would you want to see in 5 years for this celebration, for Nigeria, for yourself as an artist? What is some of those hopes as an influencer yourself?
Well, there are already many entrepreneurs of Nigeria. There's Cafe Neo, a place in Nigeria where it's basically like rivaling Starbucks now. There's also Joomba. I don't know how to pronounce it that well, but it's one of like a computer with Amazon, so it's really good.
Wow.
And also, so I think I hope there are more entrepreneurs like that who come together to make something that's really cool and really influential. Like the iPhone, people are now like going crazy over the iPhone. I hope somebody, or even me, someone that's Nigerian comes there, puts a Nigerian touch to it so that everybody knows it's Nigerian.
Yes.
And then it's something that everybody needs or wants. Like it could be a new computer, a new company, like something, anything, like an architecture, something very cool and very great. So
Well, it's been such a pleasure speaking with you and hearing some of your thoughts as a young creative, as a young influencer, and I believe that as the saying goes, a child shall lead them. With influencers like you at the helm, we will see this coming together, and we will see a changing of the concept, and even misconceptions will be shattered because of individuals like you, and it's been a pleasure to be able to hear your thoughts.
thank you.
Thank you so much. We look forward to hearing your beautiful talent, and I know that many people are looking forward to that as well as we celebrate Nigerian independence here in Allentown in the beautiful Lehigh Valley. Thank you.